Yeah, so the thing is, like, when you're using SQL, it requires you to define the table, define the database schema directly in the database. So you're gonna probably like create table, probably gonna do like some comments, oh, create a table, alter table, kind of like this. So you need to predefine how you're gonna save all this data in your database. And then with Mongo, you can store any kind of data you want in any row. You can have like different rows, different data for each row. But like this is crazy. So the thing is, you probably should store the same type of data in the same collection or table, if you want to be able to do queries, aggregations, and I don't know, take some stats, statistics and all. So you store the same data in the same collection, the same table. That's the way it is in the SQL or NoSQL, or if you're same developer. If you're crazy, maybe you can do something else. But like that's the normal way of doing things. Even on NoSQL, you have this store the same stuff, the same item, the same type in the same collection.
Yeah, and Mongoose is just one library, just one option, but there are many options that you can choose. Like in Meteor.js projects, it's very common to people to use simple schema. I think is one of the most used libraries for Meteor.js apps, but you have many other options. One that I'm using myself for some projects is the Jam Easy Schema that is created by John Mauro. And it is really great because you have a few options to define your schema. There is one like that is, I think it's called simple, not simple schema, but there is one that is, I think, more readable and more clean. But you can choose like defining your schema using a very similar syntax as simple schema. You can use Zod, that is a very popular library as well. So this is another option, but there are many options. Like if you search for that, yeah, it's like Sibeli said, it's crazy if you don't use a schema. And the only difference, not the only difference, but the main difference is that on SQL databases, the schema is defined at the database level, and with MongoDB, you do that at the application level. So you code what you want to have as your schema. So yeah, everyone should use schemas.
And on the Galaxy beta that we have right now, we are using an abstraction we created ourselves called create typed schema that uses Zod to power the schema of our database. And it's pretty cool because on Meteor we have a lot of enums. For example, we have a lot of plan types, for example. And by using Zod also for the schema of the database, we can share like use the schema from the database layer up to like the API layer. So it's way easier to share like code between even like front end and back end. So for example, enums got like really easy to deal on the Galaxy 2. And overall, I think that Zod is like a very powerful schema library. For example, you can do refinements and that kind of stuff. And yes, still I think there are some places that you might want to leave a little bit of reach to don't have schemas. For example, if you're dealing with webhooks and one webhook might have a metadata that you want to store in case you need to debug and or maybe like read later, but you don't know exactly what's going to come. Maybe because the API they're going to send you, the webhook might change the metadata they send. You might just like have all the collection with a very well-defined schema and have like some field that's free to have any kind of data, for example. So I like a mix of both of them, having like mostly of it having schema, but I like how MongoDB allow us to do not like need to set everything to a schema.
And if you want to host your MongoDB instances with a very attractive pricing and modern infrastructure, you should consider Galaxy. Galaxy is the cloud hosting platform maintained by Meteor Software. And at the moment, we do support Meteor apps, Node apps, and Python apps, and of course, MongoDB hosting. Don't leave this video without clicking on the link that is in the description, where you can see all the prices and plans that we have made specially for you, and bring your database to Galaxy today.